Hey there, Smite fans, and welcome back to another prediction video. This one's similar to last week, where it's going to be covering AVGL matches, and these are going to be the matches that I think are going to be some of the more interesting matches that we will see throughout the week. So right off the bat, the first match I'm going to be looking at is going to be the University of Toledo versus Southern Illinois University Carbondale. Now, both of these teams, again, have been playing very well, and I expect to see this one kind of be right where they belong. I think they're both going to be close. I think they're going to be able to come out with some very interesting games. Overall, though, they are sitting kind of in the middle of the pack for both of their divisions, and I really do expect to see them be close games, but I feel honestly like we might be able to see Carbondale over here on this right-hand side finally be able to come out, take this win, and push themselves a little bit higher in their standings. The next matchup we're going to be having is going to be Illinois Institute of Technology versus Stony Brook University, and this is another one I think is going to be a very interesting set. While I think Illinois Institute of Technology, they're right now sitting tied for second with Bowling Green State in their division, I expect to see them put up a good fight. They might even be able to find a game in this best-of-3 step, but ultimately Mort Brooklyn and the rest of his team on Stony Brook University should be able to take this and push their score up to 7-0 when they find this win. Another one that I think is going to be just as interesting to watch is going to be Georgia Tech Yellow versus East Tennessee State University. Now, this one, again, both of these teams are very close. In fact, East Tennessee State right now just barely in second because of the one loss that they have suffered, whereas Georgia Tech Yellow is sitting at 5-0, East Tennessee State is sitting at 5-1, and really I think we're going to see Georgia Tech Yellow kind of push themselves even further going forward and finding themselves at 6-0. I just don't think East Tennessee State has what it takes to take both games off, or take 2 games off of them in order to find their best of 3. I think they might be able to find one win, but I don't think they're going to be able to close out the set, and I think the Georgia Tech Yellow should be able to take this win. Now, the next one we have, it's highlighting, it's a little bit lower on the tier list, really, overall than some of the games that we could be seeing this week, but it's going to be DeSales versus St. Lawrence College. And really, both of these teams, we've seen St. Lawrence College on stream before. They've played relatively well, but they've also had a lot of rough patches. Obviously, when you look at their score, they're 2-3 right now. They just haven't really been able to find full sets. They've had some good engagements, but overall, they've been shut down, whereas DeSales, sitting at 2-1, this one's going to be really kind of the test to see where they put themselves. If they win this, they can kind of bump up in the division, go up a little bit higher. But I feel like St. Lawrence College is going to give them a run for their money. This one we might see go to 3 games, but ultimately I expect to see DeSales be able to come out on top, move up in their division, and feel a lot happier with that win. Now, the next matchup to look at will be Indiana University of PA versus Stevens Institute of Technology. Now, both of these, again, are some lower tier teams, really, when you're looking at it. They're just not going to be some of the stronger games, but I think these two teams are going to be closer, really, than we expect. Although Stevens Institute of Technology, sitting at 1-3, haven't really been playing at the same level that you would really want to see if you want to move up in the division, whereas Indiana University of Pennsylvania, they are looking a little bit stronger. They should be able to go up, should be able to find a 3rd win here, go up to 3-1. But ultimately, this is going to be, again, another little bit of rough set for these two teams, not necessarily because of the high skill cap of the two of them, but because they're so close together in their fighting. And I expect to see Indiana University be able to come out on top, but they should have a little bit of a rough time with it. I think Stevens Institute of Technology is going to be able to give them some trouble, but ultimately, Indiana University will have that W. And the last one of the week that I think is going to be one of the better ones to watch is going to be California State, Los Angeles versus Regis University. Now, Regis University is sitting at 4-0, Cal State is sitting at 4-1, and really both of these teams are looking relatively good. They're looking pretty strong. They should be able to push this one to 3 games even, and I think it's just going to be kind of flip-flop. Whoever takes the first one takes the first one, whoever takes the third one or second one takes the second one, and that 3rd game is going to be very dependent on morale coming into this next game, or into that last game. If Regis win the first one, lose the second one, morale going into the 3rd one might be a little bit low, whereas if they lose the first one, win the second one, they're going to be kind of thinking, okay, we can do this, we can find that reverse sweep. And the same thing goes for LA. I think these teams are going to be very close. I think it's going to come down to one play really overall at the end that kind of finds the separating and defining moment that separates the two teams into the whichever one finds 5-0 and becomes either 4-1 or 4-2 on the other side. But ultimately, I think Regis is going to be able to take this. They're just a little bit stronger right now. Cal State has an equal opportunity, I want to say, to be able to take this game. But something in my heart and in my mind is telling me that Regis should be able to find the best of 3, 2-1 in this case, and should be able to find the win. And that's going to be it for this week. Just some real quick games going down. 6 of them really to be highlighted, and those 6 are going to be probably some of the more interesting ones we can watch. Make sure to tune into the stream at twitch.tv/AVGL on Thursday at 7 p.m. to watch some Smite games, and Saturday at 5 p.m. And of course, if you follow the channel or follow the Twitter, you will be able to find out about those not only when they're going on, but you might be able to find some other games you like, because there's also Dota 2, CSGO, and Paladins really to be able to watch. So honestly, we've got it all covered. If you want to, you can come watch, and I think it'll be a real treat this week. Looking to be a little bit less actiony overall than some of the normal weeks, but last week we had some of the best games I've seen in Season 4, and I expect to see some of that trend continue, especially with games like this last one with Regis versus Cal State LA, and I really just expect to see some really strong teams, and ultimately they are still fighting. They want that #1 spot. Who will be going forward into these final brackets? And ultimately, I think we're going to be looking at some really strong teams.